Emilio is going to walk us through the budget presentation for transportation.
Good evening, everybody. Members of the board. Mr. Hochreiter. It's right there.
We're over here.
In the hallway. So I continue to work on reducing some of my spending. We reduced overtime for sports. We reduced spending without losing the quality of service. We still want to be able to provide the same service that we do, but just with a little more efficiently. We continue to work on our routes to make them more efficient and to better serve the residents of the community. And we also continue to use the shared services model. We've joined with Peekskill Schools, Peekskill, Croton, Lakeland, Putnam Valley, Yorktown, and this year we added Pocanico Hills in with us also, and Ossining. And we do that to share some of the expenses of bringing our students to out-of-district programs. So our drivers still continue to receive their annual training on EpiPen administration. We have the school nurse from Buchanan Applying School come and to the February refresher, and she gives them EpiPen admin certification. We also talk about diabetic emergencies and what to do, and also seizure disorders. This year we had our representatives from Alteris come, and we worked with the drivers and custodians on what to do in case of a violent event or a fight on the bus. We let them brainstorm and come up with how they would deal with it. Who do they contact? What do they do as the driver? What do they do to protect the other children on the bus? What happens if you're not in a great place to pull over? What are you going to do? All right, and that went really well. We thought that they, it makes them think. We hope that we don't have those type of incidents happen on the bus, but it's the nature of the beast. All right, and so at least they feel a little bit more prepared in order to, deal with those situations should they arise. Okay, so this year we received delivery on 2 72-passenger Bluebird transit-style buses. So those are the buses with the flat front. Okay, we also received delivery on 2 28-passenger vans. And we also received delivery on a 2019 Jeep, and that's used by the security department. I don't know if it's outside tonight because he did have it earlier today, and he was up at the game with it. Okay, going forward for the 2021, I'd like to purchase 3 20-passenger single-wheeled vans, and we're going to be replacing the vans that are listed. As you can see, they all have high mileage on them. To use them every single day, it's starting to be that they're starting to spend a lot of time in the garage being repaired, so we feel that this is really the best way for us to go. And 1 72-passenger transit-style bus. We also would like to purchase 1 utility vehicle for use at the schools, and that's, they commonly call them the Gator. That's really a brand name, so we really can't use that name, but that's what that utility vehicle is. It's not it's not an off-road vehicle. It's something that they would use for maintenance on the fields and moving, their field maintenance equipment from place to place. And the approximate cost to replace those vehicles is $325,000. So as we look at the budget going forward, you can see in my first line, that's so this is for the chauffeurs, for the van drivers. It's an increase of $46,708, which is a 3.2% increase. For non-instructional, also for the chauffeurs, we have an increase of $10,229 with a 2% increase. The chauffeurs for the handicap vans, that's an increase of $27,783. That increase is a little bit more because we use those chauffeurs to help with the children that are involved in the Sailor program. They're doing a lot of community employment opportunities, so we're taking them to the beach shopping center to work over at Stop and Shop. They're also going to other different facilities like that in the area. A lot of those kids need to have monitors with them or co-chauffeurs with them, and because of that, that's why that's a little bit higher. Okay, non-instructional overtime. I didn't increase that line at all. Left it the same. Field trips also stayed the same. And then in sports overtime, we reduced that by $4,000. So it's a minus 3.9%. Okay, my equipment line, I reduced that by $35,000. Contractual expenditures stay the same. Materials and supplies also stay reduced that by $5,000. Okay, gas and diesel, that line has pretty much stayed the same for the past few years. Kind of watching the fuel prices. They're, as we all know, as the summer months come, they go higher, but we obviously don't fuss as much in the summer, so we're okay. And then in the winter, we go up a little bit more because we have to add, and we have additive that goes into the fuel so it doesn't, so that the diesel doesn't gel. Okay, lubrication and oil stays the same, and then tires and chains, we reduce that by $500. Our insurance has gone up a little bit, so we have those increases. One of $2,021, and the other one of $1,019. And down at the bus garage, for equipment, we reduced that by $5,000. Our contractual expenditures, we left those the same. That has to do with the things that they are using in the garage that we have delivered there by different vendors. Okay, and then we have our natural gas, which is the same. Water, electricity went down a little bit. And then we have our liability insurance there. And then our materials and supplies for the bus garage. So an overall increase in my budget of $37,865, which comes out to be 1.05%.
Are there any questions?
I was just wondering if you could give us an update on the stop arm cameras that we were talking about earlier for the
Sure.
buses.
Well,
those
We're still, it's still a work in progress. There's, a lot going on with that, and there's been a lot of, a lot of movement with, with some vendors and such. So we're just still, waiting to see how that's all going to pan out. It's, it's like I had said to you when we talked about it last year. It's just the way the law is written is just so convoluted. It really wasn't designed to really be successful, unfortunately. So at NIAP, which is the State Association for New York Pupil Transportation, we're working really hard with our new government advocate that we have to try to see if we can get that law changed a little bit. Because right now it's as if you're going through a red light of a traffic light. It's not, we feel that, it's the risk of a child being hit by a car. And we want to try to make sure we save as many kids from that ever happening. So. But it is a law now that they have to have that in driver's ed. That's one of the things that they must cover in the driver ed program. So hopefully that will help also to educate the kids in New York State as to what they're supposed to do.
Any other questions? Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you.